Hello, welcome to Sunny's Yoga. I'm Sunny. Today we're going to do a combination vinyasa. And what that means is I'm intentionally going to incorporate, not modify, incorporate tools into a regular vinyasa. I like the benefits that yoga offers, and that is living in an open body and being in tune with my body so that I can nourish my body the way that I need to. I have my 2 yoga blocks. Have them near to you, my dears. We will need them. Step to the front of the mat for Shindra, Namaskar. Standing at the front, got the wiggles. Standing at the front. I'm going to join my hands together by interlacing them, bring them up over my head. Go up towards the ceilings, palms up. Breathe. I'm going to make sure that my tailbone stays down and tucked. I've engaged my core. There's a yoga teacher that I follow online, and she says, feels like your muscles are just pressing and being trying to glue against the bones, something like that. Because that's how it feels. I'm going to bring my hands down into cactus. I'm going to slowly start to come around as I move into goddess. Goddess, you come out 45 degrees. Knees are coming out. Arms stay out in cactus. Let your hips drop. Yogi toes come up. Breathe in and out. In and out. And you're going to come straight down. Now, the further you go down, the more intense. Up higher, least intense. With that, we're going to come up, turn in my right foot, let my left foot come towards the front, let my arms come straight down. Kindly guide your hips to go towards the front. Be straight up before you extend and come down if you need to. Again, bend in the knee, have a micro bend, there's nothing wrong with it. The mat. Nice deep breaths in and out. I am not putting any pressure on my shins. Bring my right foot up. My hands are going to come on either side of my left foot. I'm going to drop down to my right knee. Foot comes down, and I'm going to sweep my arms up into crescent moon. Again, letting my hips drop. For me, this is relaxing. It is okay if your knee goes over your toes. It is not okay for your knee to come inward or for it to go out. You want it to stay aligned with your hips. Breathe. One more breath. I'm going to bring my hands back down again because we're going to move into Standasana. I'm going to come up on my right foot, bring it around to 90 degree, walk over, drop my hips, and have my left foot flexing towards my face. Now my hands can help me with opening through my hips. Sink down further, breathe. We're gonna come up, and guess what? We're immediately going to the other side. So this time, right foot comes out, and I'm dropping right immediately down into Standasana. Again, I'm going to bring my hands in so they can give my right leg a run for its money. Toes flexing towards my face, dropping my bottom down and coming up a little bit more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my foot down, come around. This time we're moving to the right. Right foot points towards the front, back leg, left leg. Left leg comes up. I'm gonna have drop down to my knee, come down to my foot, and come down, come up into crescent moon. Allow your hips to drop. Don't fight gravity. In this situation, gravity is lovely. Let your hips drop. More breaths here. Bring my hands down. Going to come up on my left foot. Bring my left foot around. Allow my right foot to stay towards the front. I'm going to come up for a moment to make sure I'm in alignment. You want to make sure that the heel of your foot is aligned with the arch of your other foot. Slight bend in your knee if necessary. Come up. I'm going to make sure I'm fully turned towards my right. And I'm going to stretch forward, then roll on down. Whatever I did on my left, I want to make sure to repeat on my right. With that, come on up. This time, arms come up, then arms come out. Slowly start to tip your left hip out as you come down into triangle. Now, if you move your foot in some, least intense, which I'm gonna stay in least intense. My leg is not feeling the most intense. When you have to adjust, come back into the asana the same way you came in the first time. Come on down and breathe. With that, come on up. Oh, coming into goddess. First, the feet. Come out 45 degrees. Hands come up. Back and let your hips drop straight down, even to drop. With that, we're going to come up, step to the front of the mat. Arms come up. Let your hands slowly come down. Now for some action with the blocks. Action, action. First one is Virabhadrasana, Warrior 3. I'm going to use one block. I'm going to put one block to the side. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. I'm going to step up towards almost the top of my mat. Block is going to come more aligned with my left foot. I'm going to step a little ways from the block. I'm going to start to reach out from my hips, tuck my pelvis, come down. Let my hands be on the highest height of the block. I'm going to kick up my left foot straight up. Keep your hips aligned and bring your right arm right along your right ear and breathe. Keep trying to raise your leg, but making sure your hips stay aligned. Get ready to bring everything back down. We're going to stay extended through the hips. Now we move to the other side. Block is now directly in front of my right foot. I'm going to put my right hand down onto the block. I'm going to kick up and back my right leg, flex your toes, and bring your left arm along your ears. Keep reaching. The heel goes towards the back. The hand is going towards the front. Breathe. Get ready, come on down. Bring your leg down. Roll yourself up with your head and your neck coming last. This time, you intentionally need both your blocks. As we're moving into Parasita Padonasana, head on blocks. So I'm going to stack my 2 blocks on the lowest end. It is up to you if you need to go higher or medium, but please use both your blocks. First thing I'm going to do is put the blocks in front. I am aiming to make sure that my head is in line with my feet. That is most intense. Least intense is to have it come a little further in front of you. Also, most intense is the wider your legs are apart. You want to make sure your feet are facing the front. I'm going to breathe in. Start to extend outward through my hips and roll on down until my head comes down and I can grab my big toes. Now I'm going to turn to the side. Everybody stay in their position. Making sure my blocks are where they need to be. My feet are going to come off the mat because I'm going for the more intense variation. I am going to make sure that I start by being upright, tailbone tucked, and I start to extend slowly out of my hips. I'm not falling backwards. I want to come towards the front, put some weight on the ball mounds of my feet. I'm going to have a micro bend in my knees. I'm going to keep coming forward and down. Bringing my hands with me to grab my big toe, and head goes on top of the yoga blocks. Breathe. If you can put a little weight in the ball mounds of your feet, you'll definitely feel it all up and down the back of your legs, but your legs will thank you. We're going to bring our hands back under our shoulders. We'd like you to extend out from your hips. Again, weight in the ball mounds of your feet. Back goes flat if you need to. Ground is already at your fingertips. Come up some. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Get ready to come up. Walk your feet in. And blocks come to the side. Now I just need one block. Put your one block down, and all you're doing is making sure that you're about hip distance apart. When you're on the back part of the mat, you're going to move one foot up, just straight up. The other foot will come up fully onto the yoga block. Focus your drishti, and hands come at your hips. Flex your toe towards your face. The goal is to be steady and to keep your feet even. I'm going to gently step down on the foot that was in the air first. Come back onto the other foot. What you do to one, you do to the other. That's going to be like my favorite song all year. Again, hip distance. My foot is right alongside the block. I'm going to step my stationary foot up. When I do that, I'm going to come up. Now you want to make sure that you feel stable. Put a little weight on it. Make sure you feel stable. Knee is bent. Gently come up. I never removed my hands from my hips. We're going to come down now slowly on to our stable foot, stagnant foot, and come around. Now we're going to do calf stretches on the block. So I'm going to stand to the side. My hands are going to be beside me. So I'm going to have my feet a little bit further than hip distance. You're down, tailbone tuck. I'm going to have my hands nice and light beside me. Bring my right foot up. Just come to all of the toes and let your heel drop. You're going to feel this all up from the bottom of your heel straight up the back of your leg, especially the calf. Yep. Allow your shoulders to roll open and down. I'm going to bring my foot up first. Kind of roll my ankle out. I'm going to bring the block over to the left side. And I'm going to do the same thing on the left side. So I have my foot, right foot is back a little bit. I'm going to come up onto trying to get all of my toes, even my pinky toe. Trying to get all the toes up on the block and then slowly start to bring my heel down. One side of us is always going to be tighter than the other. I'm going to come up, bring my heel up first before I step back. Now I can move my block, moving blocks off to the side. Blocks are put down. I'm going to face you towards the front. Go ahead and have my right leg extended. I'm going to go ahead and start to go back like I was sitting in a chair. Allow my hands to drape and my head to come down. I'm going to get ready to come up, straight through the middle. Stand for one moment. Let your head drop. Now I'm going to let my left foot come out and I'm going to start to bend down to my left foot, making sure I'm going towards the back as if I was sitting in a chair, and hands and head come down and breathe. I'm going to get ready to come up. Come through center. This time, extend out, looking past your dristi. Bring them feet in and roll. No, I'm just kidding. Roll back up. Shoulders, head, and neck last. Going right into malasana with your hands underneath your heels. Yep. So if you need a block, and I'm using blocks today, so 2 blocks, I'm going to stack them on top of each other, come around, I'm going to come straight down onto the blocks. You want to make sure your sits bones are what's on the blocks. I'm going to bring my feet out, legs out, 45 degrees, feet too. Then I'm going to come down, lift up my heels, bring my hand as far as I can underneath my heels and allow my heels to come down upon my feet as I lift up. My hips are still benefiting from this hip opener because My arms are allowing for some resistance. Keep breathing. Wait till we like, I'm gonna lift up my heel intentionally and like massage my hand a little bit, because when I let go, it's gonna feel, no, seriously, it is. And with that, lift up your heels. Bring in your heels, shake out your hands. You feel the blood flow coming back into your hands. Just give your wrist a little twist. 8. No, I'm just kidding. It does feel good to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do a nice little counter by interlacing my hands and pushing it, going towards you in the front. My legs are together. I'm still on my blocks. Breathe. Sitting upright. Let your hands go. Come with me to deer pose. So I'm going to come around. We don't need our blocks for this one. Deer pose. Sitting upright, fleshy part from underneath you. Start to come around a little bit. What you want to do is let your left foot come down. Knee comes down. Bring your right foot around, both at 90 degrees. And I'm actually going to turn a little bit towards my left since my left foot is in front. And I want to breathe. Now, further down, you don't want to go past your hip. You want to stay in line with your hip. Same thing with your front. You want to stay in line with your hip at 90 degrees. This is as far as you want to go. Breathe and start looking towards the back of the room. Now the hardest part is tilting. You're going to have to make sure that you're staying upright. If you feel pinch, pull, anything, bring up your knee and bring your foot in some. Get ready to come around. Instead of moving fully, I'm just getting ready to switch my legs. So I'm going to bring my legs around both to the front. Come towards the middle some. This time, bringing my left foot around, right foot's in front, 90-degree angle, sitting fully down, and I'll start to turn. Looking just past my wristy. Now I'm going to bring myself around, going straight into cradle pose with a straight leg. Now with this, you can sit on a block. I'm just going to use one block. Would like my hips to drop a little bit. So sitting on the block, make sure you are fully tailbone on the block. Move the fleshy part. Feet are in front of you. That has allowed me to be, as long as I'm on the block where my tailbone and my thigh meet, then I'm good to go. This will allow me to let my hips drop a little bit more while I'm in the asana. This is already a hip opener. Bringing up my left foot, I'm gonna cradle my foot in my arm, in my elbow. Gonna bring around my left hand to meet the right, and I'm gonna come up. Yes, I'm bringing my foot up towards my body, and I'm sitting full upright, reminding my shoulders to drop down. Breathe. Go past your wristy. Make sure you keep those toes flexed. Higher up you come, more intense. Lower down, less intense. try to come up as much as you can at your time, at your pace, because some people might just be right here, and that's all right. Please notice as I got out of the asana and back into the asana. That's how we do it. Make sure we don't hurt ourselves. And with that, I'm going to fully let go of the bind, helping my foot come down to meet my right, immediately bringing my right foot in, allowing the inside of my foot to come align with my elbow, wrapping my other elbow around. Please note I'm coming around just above the knee, and I'm starting to bring the lower half towards the top, flexing my toes. Sit upright. Also more intense if you try to come more 90 degrees. Least intense if you're about at 45 degrees. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Go ahead and let my foot come down to meet my left. Bring myself up off of the block. So with one block, we're going to do a few variations of Matsuyasana, which is fish pose. So the first one, I'm going to make sure that the block is going towards the upper part of my back. You will eventually need both blocks, but for the first two asanas, just the one. I'm going to make sure I'm going to face this way. I never face this way, really. I'm going to face this way. All right, I'm coming down. I want to make sure the block is where I need it to be and it's steady. Start to come down. Yes, it is. It's where I need it to be. My feet are going to come out. Let them relax and hang out. Let your shoulders roll open and your head drop. Breathe. The more relaxed, the more your head will naturally start gravitating towards the floor. This is nice opening through the top part of your chest. That's why it's nice to roll your shoulders open. So since we don't fight gravity around these parts, we're going to go ahead and get some assistance by cradling my neck and starting to bring my feet in as I bring myself up. The next variation, I'm going to go further down. This is more towards my lower back. I'm going to come back again. I'm going to keep it at the same height. I'm not going to change the height. I'm going to start to roll myself down. Let gravity do its work. My head is down. And I'm not pressing my tailbone down. I'm letting gravity do its thing. Now my heels are dug in just in case to give me stability. But my hips are starting to drop, and that feels great to me. And with that, I'm going to dig my elbows in to the mat as I slowly bring myself up with my neck and head coming last, because now I need dos. I need two blocks, dos. One will be here for my head, and one I'm going to actually turn sideways, and it's going to come right in between my shoulder blades, and I'm going to love everything about that. Yes, I am, because this feels amazing. So the first time we go out this one, we're going to come down, make sure your blocks are where they need to be, adjust where you need to adjust. Making sure my head comes, feet come down, arms come open, shoulders can be wiggled just a little bit to let them come open. Actually, I'm gonna move this. I want it towards the base of my head. That's where I want this block to be. Again, adjust my shoulders, breathe in and out. Oh, this feels great. It feels so great. You know what we're gonna do next is we're going to slowly bring our feet in. Closer in allows you to drop a little bit more into the asana. And I would like my shoulders to roll open even further down towards the ground. Keep breathing. Now I have one that y'all did not see coming, and that is when we go crisscross and cross our feet. I have not moved that much. Okay, I'll try not to move, try not to move. Oh, I am crisscross. My hips are dropped more. My chest is opening more. My shoulders are dropping, and my head is nice and relaxed. Keep breathing. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Whatever foot you had in front, it now goes behind with your other foot coming down in front. Tuck those toes underneath you and readjust and breathe. Continue to let your chest come open by your shoulders dropping down. I'm making sure my legs don't come up. I'm reminding myself they just need to hang out. They don't play a role. I just need them to hang out because I need my hips to open. I need my lower back to open. With that, I'm going to bring my elbows towards being underneath of my shoulders as I lift my head up, uncross my legs, one hand, then the other hand. I'm actually going to do our counter pose by coming forward, wrapping my arms around my shins and my head, my forehead coming to my knees. With that, I'm going to come towards facing you, moving into Baya Pararama. Now, if you're sitting crisscross and you'd like to give yourself a challenge by coming a little bit further into like a wide leg crisscross instead, you can join me. Blocks are right underneath your knees. You're gonna sit upright, fleshy part, from underneath you. Now you can sit fully upright on your sits bones. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. My hands are very light. They're a dead weight on my knees. My knees want to come up. I keep reminding them to have a seat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come sit upright. Now I personally am going to move into put the blocks to the side. If you want to stay wide leg, all you have to do is keep the blocks where they're at and just switch the position of your legs and make sure that the blocks are underneath. Leg comes closest to your body is more intense, but it's most important that the blocks are right where your knees would come down to give you support. Moving into locust for Adiyom Valum Pararama. Told you, tight hips. This is why I'm doing this, tight hips. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit upright. Peace fingers. Peace fingers come together. You're gonna have your thumb. You're gonna breathe in one nostril, hold, move your fingers, breathe out the other nostril. Mind your lower half. It plays no role in this. Keep reminding yourself that. With my peace fingers together, I'm gonna close off my right nostril. Breathe in. Close off my left nostril with my thumb. Let go with my two peace fingers and breathe out. Breathe in. Peace fingers. Left finger, left thumb, let's go. Breathe out. Breathe in. Thumb covers. Peace fingers come out. Exhale. Breathe in. Peace fingers. And breathe out. Move the thumb. Breathe in. Thumb comes around. Peace fingers come out. Breathe out. Last time. Breathe in. Nice deep inhale. Hold. Drop your shoulders, drop your legs, let the intensity go. Thumb comes out and breathe everything out. I'll let my hands come down. I'm coming out of locust. Move my feet around. Move my feet around. And that is Sunny's yoga for today. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and I hope it showed you how you can actually incorporate the tools with that. I leave you. Namaste.